Hello everyone. I'm Mr. Miles Johnson A. Madria, your General and Inorganic Chemistry instructor. So our discussion is all about the redox reaction, which is the last chapter that is covered in your semifinals lesson. I hope you are prepared in listening in our discussion, which is all about the redox reaction. If you are watching right now, please kindly finish this video lecture before entering my class next week. So our discussion is all about the redox reaction. But first, let us define what is oxidation according to first classical and in electron. So in classical, oxidation is a process which involves the addition of oxygen or any electronegative element or the removal of hydrogen or any electropositive element. In electron naman, oxidation is the process in which an atom or ion loses one or more electrons. So how about in reduction? According to classical and electron. According to classical, reduction is a process which involves the addition of hydrogen or any electropositive element or the removal of oxygen or any electronegative element. In electron naman, reduction is the process in which an atom or ion gains one or more electrons. To differentiate oxidation and reduction in the redox reaction, please do remember that when we say reduction, it is the addition of hydrogen and the removal of oxygen. How about oxidation? When we see oxidation, it is the addition of oxygen and removal of hydrogen. From the word itself, oxidation, that means it is the addition of oxygen. Since nag-add po tayo ng oxygen, we remove now the hydrogen element. So how about reduction? From the word itself, reduction, we remove or reduce the oxygen and we add now the hydrogen. That is in classical. But how about in electron? Differentiating the reduction and oxidation, reduction is the gains or one or more electrons. Gaining of electrons, the reduction. How about oxidation? It is the loss of electrons. So oxidation, it is the addition of oxygen and removal of oxygen, and it is also the losing of all electrons. How about reduction? It is the addition of hydrogen and the removal of oxygen, and it gains electrons. So redox reaction, it is commonly termed also as redox reaction where there is a production and reduction of oxygen in a reaction. So when we say redox reaction, it is oxidation reduction reaction. So redox reaction, it involves the transfer of electrons from the chemical substance to another. So let us have the rules for assigning oxidation states. There are a lot of rules for assigning oxidation states, but let us have first the two rules for assigning oxidation states. The first rule is the oxidation state of an individual atom is zero. Ano po bang ibig sabihin ng first rule natin? Ganito po yan. Kapag element lang po siya, it is just an individual atom, the oxidation state is zero. For example, we have the element lithium. The oxidation state of lithium is zero. How about magnesium? That is zero. How about potassium? That is zero. Ano po bang ibig sabihin natin kay first rule? Ganito lang po yan. Kapag element lang po siya, kapag individual atom, it is not bonded with any elements or it is not part of a compound, it is just an individual atom, the oxidation state is zero. So let us proceed now with the second rule for assigning oxidation state. The second rule for assigning oxidation state is the total oxidation state of all atoms in a neutral species is zero, and in an ion is equal to the ion charge. Okay, I forgot. Please, in here with oxidation state, paano natin siya hahanapin in the periodic table of elements? The oxidation state is just the same where you can find the ionic charge in the periodic table of elements. For example, we have the element oxygen. Ano po ba ang nakalagay po diyan na oxidation state ni oxygen? It can be found on the second upper right corner of your periodic table of elements for each element. For example, we have the oxygen. The oxidation state of oxygen is -2. But when it comes to ionic charge, that is 2 negative. So to differentiate the oxidation state with the ionic charge, when we say oxidation state, the one that comes first is the sign and then the number. So kapag oxidation state, sign muna before the number. So for example, the oxygen. The oxidation state is -2. Nauna ang negative kaysa sa number. So how about the ionic charge of the oxygen? The ionic charge of oxygen is 2 negative. Paano namang nangyari naging 2 negative siya? The number comes first before the sign. So 2 before the sign, which is the negative. Let us have another example. We have here the element boron. So when we say boron, the oxidation state of boron is +3. Bakit +3? Because sign first before the number. How about the ionic charge? That is 3 positive. So with oxidation state, sign and then the number. With ionic charge, number and then the sign. So let us go back again with the second rule for assigning oxidation state. The second rule for assigning oxidation state is the total oxidation state of all atoms in a neutral species is 0 and in an ion is equal to the ion charge. Let us have first the first group of words in the second rule. The total oxidation state of all atoms in a neutral species is 0. To better explain the first group of words in the second rule, let us have first an example. The example is the compound water. We have here the chemical formula for water, which is H2O. There are 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen in the compound water. So oxygen typically has an oxidation state of -2 and hydrogen typically has an oxidation state of +1. Kindly check whether the oxidation states of both oxygen and hydrogen is correct in your periodic table of elements. If you will see the periodic table of elements, of course, the oxidation state of oxygen is -2. -2 lang naman po ang oxidation state dyan ni oxygen. How about the hydrogen? It is both +1 and -1. But typically, hydrogen has an oxidation state of +1. So mostly ang gagamitin natin na oxidation state of hydrogen is +1. So ano po bang sinasabi natin kay second rule na the total oxidation state of all atoms in a neutral species is 0. So for oxygen, the oxidation state is -2. How many atoms of oxygen in the water? We have only 1. So -2 times 1, that is -2. How about hydrogen? The oxidation state of hydrogen is +1. +1 times 2 atoms of oxygen, of hydrogen, that is +2. Then you will add now the values. -2 plus +2, that is now 0. So when we say a neutral species, the oxidation state is 0. Let us now proceed to the last group of words in the second rule. The total oxidation state of all atoms in an ion is equal to the ion charge. Ano po bang ibig sabihin nun ng last group of words in the second rule natin? So ang ibig sabihin lang po niyan, Wait, let me check. Okay, ang ibig sabihin lang po niyan, let us have an example to better explain the second rule, the last group of words in the second rule. So we have the compound sulfate ion. Or okay, so if we will see the sulfate ion, the chemical formula for sulfate ion, we have SO42 negative. So ganito yan. If we will see the elements, both the sulfur and oxygen, the oxidation state of each element, the oxidation state of oxygen, that is negative 2. How about sulfur? If we will see your periodic table of elements, the oxidation state of sulfur are negative 2, positive 4, and 6. So, as compared to oxygen, oxygen is only one oxidation state, which is negative 2. How about sulfur? Meron po tayong tatlo dyan na oxidation state. So, you have first to identify kung ano ba talaga ang oxidation state ng sulfur natin. So, let sulfur's oxidation state be X. So, X plus negative 8 is equal to negative 2. So, si X natin, let sulfur's oxidation state be X. Since kailangan pa natin i-identify oxidation state ni sulfur, kaya X pa lang po siya, wala pa po siyang value. How about si negative 8? Saan po nakuha si negative 8 diyan? If we will see the chemical formula for sulfate ion, we have 4 atoms of oxygen in the sulfate ion. Ano po ba ang oxidation state ni oxygen? That is negative 2. So negative 2 times 4, that is negative 8. So it is equal to negative 2. So saan naman nakuha si negative 2 dyan? Si negative 2 is nakuha dyan sa ion charge of the whole sulfate ion, 2 negative. Pero kung wala kayong makita dito na ion charge ng ating sulfate ion or any compound, ibig sabihin, ang ilalagay natin dito ay 0. So we have now the equation. Sana na-gets nyo iyon. So we have the equation, x plus negative 8 is equal to negative 2. Since, please do remember that dapat hiwalay po ang numerical coefficient kay literal coefficient. Again, when we say numerical coefficient, it is just pure numbers. How about literal coefficient? It is pure letters only. So kung mapapansin niyo, dapat i-separate natin si literal coefficient with the numerical coefficients. So kailangan nating i-transfer si negative 8 sa kabila po natin or sa right side natin to identify the value of X or the sulfur's oxidation state. So negative 8, since ililipat natin si negative 8 sa kabila, from negative 8 magiging positive 8 na po siya. So our equation becomes X is equal to negative 2 plus 8. Naging positive po siya since inilipat po siya sa kabila. So X is equal to negative 2 plus 8. Negative 2 plus 8, since magkaiba po sila ng sign, you have to subtract both the numbers. So 8 minus 2, that is 6. So ano magiging sign ni 6 ngayon? Ano po bang mas malaki ang value niya? Si 8 po ba or si 2? Of course, si 8. So kung ano ang sign ni 8, yun po ang kukunin po ninyo. Since ang naging sign ni 8 kanina sa equation natin is positive, so our sulfur's oxidation state will become positive 6. Okay po ba tayo doon? Okay, please do remember that in your periodic table of elements, the periodic table of elements is subdivided to a lot of groups. Mostly, the group 1 in the periodic table of elements, which are the alkali metals, ang oxidation state po niyan ay positive 1. Group 2, positive 2. Group 3, that is positive 3. With group 15, 16, and 17, they are called the binary metal compounds. So group 15, that is -3 na oxidation state, group 16 that is -2, and group 17 that is -1. Again, with oxidation state, mauna si sign, then the number, kaya -3. For example, the fluorine, the oxidation state of fluorine is -1. Hydrogen, that is +1, and oxygen, that is -2. So I hope you understood the rules for assigning oxidation states. So let us now proceed with, wait, something is going, wait lang, medyo naglalag ang aking. Okay, let us have now the steps or the rules for assigning oxidation state. The step 1 is assigning the oxidation states for the reactants. Please do remember that the reactants can be found in the left corner of your equation. So we have here the iron plus 2 atoms of oxygen, and the product will be iron oxide or ferrous oxide in old compound name. So if you will see here, the parentheses, the S stands for solid, G stands for gas, and kapag naka-encounter kayo ng L, L stands for liquid, and kapag AQ naman, that stands for the aqueous solution. Aqueous solution, spell is AQUOUS. So yeah, and the second step is assigning the oxidation states for the products. Again, balikan po natin yung mga rules natin for assigning the oxidation states. The first rule is the oxidation state of an individual atom is 0. Kung papansinin natin ang ating reactant, the reactants are iron tapos oxygen. Since si iron po natin ay nag-iisa, it is just an individual atom, element lang po siya, and again, it is not part of a compound, it means that the oxidation state is 0. How about the oxygen? Of course, there are 2 atoms of oxygen, but since they are both atoms of oxygen, ang magiging oxidation state natin for oxygen is only 0. Basta individual atom siya, that is the first rule. Ibig sabihin, ang oxidation state niya ay 0. So let us proceed now with the second rule, assigning the oxidation states for the products. Again, our product is the iron oxide or ferrous oxide in all the compounds name. So, since si iron po natin, okay, let us have here the equation. So, the equation for the sum of oxidation states is 2x plus 3 times -2 is equal to 0. So, bakit naging 2x yan? Kung titignan ninyo ang periodic table of elements natin, naka-identify po ba ang oxidation state natin dyan with iron? Yes, of course. Ang oxidation state ni iron natin ay +2 and 3. But since there are 2 oxidation state of iron, i-identify pa natin ang oxidation state niya. Kaya nakalagay dyan ay X. X, since i-identify pa nga natin yung oxidation state ng iron. Saan nakuha si 2 dyan? Of course, we have 2 atoms of iron. So let us proceed naman rito. Plus 3, -2. 3, saan nakuha si 3? Because there are 3 atoms of oxygen. Saan naman nakuha si -2? Of course, the oxidation state of oxygen is -2. -2, that is the oxidation state. 3 is the number of atoms of the oxygen. It is equal to 0. Bakit naging 0 siya? Of course, hindi naman na-identify ang oxidation state of the whole compound. So let us now simplify. 2x minus 6 is equal to 0. 2x, 3 times -2, since magkaiba sila ng sign, naging negative po siya. 3 times 2, that is 6. So 2x minus 6 is equal to 0. Again, balikan natin sinabi ko kanina. Dapat hiwalay po si numerical coefficient with literal coefficient. So, ililipat natin ngayon si negative 6 sa right side po natin. From negative 6, since ililipat natin siya sa kabila, si negative ay magiging positive. So, 2x is equal to 6 now. So, let us solve for x. Since kung makikita ninyo with the literal coefficient, meron pa po siya nakalagay na 2 na coefficient. That means we have to divide both sides by 2 para makancel po si 2 dyan. So 2x divided by 2 is equal to 6 divided by 2. 2x divided by 2, cancel po natin si 2 and si 2 sa denominator. So x na lang po matitira dyan. 6 divided by 2, that is 3. So the oxidation state for iron is positive 3. So therefore, the oxidation state of iron in ferrous oxide is positive 3. The oxidation state of oxygen naman is negative 2. So let us have now this step 3 in rules for assigning oxidation states. The step 3 is identify the changes in the oxidation state. With iron from an individual atom to becoming part of a compound, which is the ferrous oxide. The oxidation state of iron is 0 ng individual atom pa siya, and it becomes positive 3 in oxidation state. How about oxygen? From 0 oxidation state from an individual atom to the product na ang naging oxidation state ni oxygen dyan ay negative 2. So si iron natin from 0 naging positive 3. With oxygen naman, si 0 ay naging negative 2. So there are changes in the oxidation state. That is step 3 in rules for assigning oxidation states. Let us proceed now with the step 4. Okay, this step, identify the changes in oxidation state. The iron oxidation state changes from 0 to positive 3. With oxygen naman, oxidation state changes from 0 to negative 2. Okay, let us proceed with step 4. The step 4 is identifying the reduced element or elements. And step 5 is identifying the oxidized elements in the equation. For step 4, balikan natin si step 3 natin. Yung si reactant natin kanina with iron, si iron nung nasa reactant pa siya ay 0 ang oxidation state niya to positive 3 and oxygen from 0 to negative 2. Saan po kaya dyan yung reduced element natin? Si iron po ba or si oxygen? Ganito lang po yan. Ang magiging reduced element natin dyan, wait lang. Okay, with iron kasi, oxidation state changes from 0 to positive 3. So it is the oxidation process. It undergoes the oxidation process. It is the loss of electrons. Since oxidation po ang na-undergo niya, ibig sabihin, it is the oxidized element. So here, si iron po ang oxidized element natin. How about oxygen? Si oxygen state changes from 0 to negative 2. Since 0 to negative 2 po ang naging oxidation state ni oxygen natin, it is the reduction process. Anong nangyari po with reduction process? It gains electron. Bakit siya nag-gain ng electron? Of course, electron is our negatively charged particle. From 0, naging negative 2 na po siya. So, ibig sabihin, it is the gaining of electrons. It undergoes the reduction process. So, ibig sabihin, since reduction process po siya, ibig sabihin, it is the reduced element. So the reduced element is the oxygen for step 4. And with step 5, identifying the oxidized element, that is the iron. Okay, I hope you really understood the rules for assigning oxidation states and the steps in assigning the oxidation states in each element in a equation, in an equation. If you have any questions or queries, you can ask me on our face-to-face classes next week. So let us continue our discussion about the redox reaction. We have the oxidation and reduction. But let me have first my break. The periodic table elements is okay, let us now continue our discussion, which is all about the redox reaction or the oxidation reduction reaction. So yeah, with oxidation and reduction in terms of electron transfer, please don't forget the mnemonics oil rig. So when we say oil rig, oil stands for oxidation is loose, while rig stands for reduction is gain. Ano po ba yung binabanggit natin dyan na lose and gain? So with oxidation, oxidation is the loss of electrons. With reduction naman is the gain of electrons in the electron transfer. So let us have an example of an equation to identify or to better differentiate the oxidation with reduction. So we have the 2 magnesium plus oxide and naging ano siya, magnesium oxide. So if we will see the equation, the magnesium, si magnesium in the what do you call this one? In the reactant, si magnesium, zero ang oxidation state niya dyan. Of course, that is an element or individual atom pa lang siya. So zero, naging 2 positive po siya or positive 2 in oxidation state. With oxygen naman, from zero as an individual atom, naging negative 2 ang kanyang oxidation state. So si magnesium, since 0 to positive 2, nag-lose of electrons siya. So that means that is oxidation reaction. Oxidation is loss of electrons. Reduction is gain of electrons. Okay, kanina may nabanggit pala ako with oxidizing agent. Ito po siya. So we have here the steps. An oxidizing agent oxidizes the other reactants. This must mean that the oxidizing agent is getting reduced. Step 3, oxidation is the loss of electrons, oil rig. So an oxidizing agent must gain electrons. Ganito lang po yan. Let us identify or let us differentiate what is oxidizing agent with reducing agent. With oxidizing agent po kasi, it is the substance that oxidizes the other reactants. Ayan po siya. An oxidizing agent is the substance that oxidizes the other reactants by accepting electrons. By accepting electrons, it undergoes reduction itself. So kapag nag-gain siya ng electron, nag-reduce po siya. So ibig sabihin, it undergoes reduction and it is the oxidizing agent. How about reducing agent? With reducing agent naman, that is the substance that reduces the other reactant by donating electrons. It undergoes oxidation itself. It loses electron. Since nag-lose po siya ng electron, loss of electrons, so that is oxidation. Ayan po, loss of electrons. That means it is oxidation. So it is the element that is being oxidized. So let us go back with our example para ma-identify natin doon or ma-differentiate natin si oxidizing agent with reducing agent. So we have here the example. Balikan natin kanina. Ito, we have here the iron plus oxide, 2 atoms of oxygen in the reactant side. How about in the product side? We have the ferrous oxide. So let us identify again kung ano po ba yung si oxidizing agent natin dyan, pati si reducing agent. Since si iron po ulit kanina, si iron, it changes from 0 to positive 3. Since 0 to positive 3 po siya, iron is the reducing agent. Bakit naging reducing agent si iron po natin? Because it donates electron. Nagtanggal po siya ng electron, nag-donate po siya ngayon ng electron. So 0 to positive 3. So that is the reducing agent, si iron po natin. How about oxygen? With oxygen naman, it changes from 0 to negative 2. Since 0 to negative 2, naging negative 2 po siya as an oxidation state. Naging negative 2 in oxidation state po si oxygen natin. So it accepts electron. So oxygen is the oxidizing agent po. Again, please remember the difference between the oxidizing agent with reducing agent. The oxidizing agent, it is the substance that oxidizes the other reactants. So it undergoes reduction itself. Kapag nag-gain po siya ng electron, it gains electron. It is the element that is being reduced. Kapag nag-gain po siya ng electron or kapag nag-accept po siya ng electron. How about reducing agent? When we say reducing agent, it is the substance that reduces the other reactant by donating electrons. So since it is the one that is that reduces the other reactant, ibig sabihin nag-lose po siya ng electron. It is the one that loses electron, so that is being oxidized. So the element is what we call the reducing agent. Okay, let us have now the common redox reaction. We have 3 common redox reactions. We have first the combustion reaction. With combustion reaction, I have discussed it already in our midterm lessons, the 5 types of reaction. With combustion reaction, please don't forget the equation or the symbols CX plus HY plus O2 is equal to the product of carbon dioxide and water. Please don't forget that when we say combustion reaction, of course, if the combustion is complete, the products will be carbon dioxide and water. And kung papansinin ninyo with the reactants, the CX plus HY plus O2, nagbago po yung ating subscript CX with carbon, naging 8 po siya. And with hydrogen, yung Y po natin ay naging 18. Ano po bang binabanggit natin dyan? Si X stands for atom, Y stands for atom, of course. But sa lahat ng subscript po dyan, yung mga subscript natin dyan, it is the number of atoms in each element. So there are 8 atoms of carbon, 18 atoms of hydrogen, 2 atoms of oxygen, and so on. Pero bakit kung mapapansin ninyo with combustion reaction in the example of the equation, mapapansin ninyo rito, merong, merong nakalagay na malaking number 2. Ito po yung sinasabi nating coefficient. So kapag malaking number po siya, that is what we call the molecule. And itong subscript po natin, that is what we call the atom. So there are 8 atoms of carbon in 2 molecules of this one. Basta ito, 2 molecules. Ito, 8 atoms. So the subscript is atom, tapos itong coefficient natin is the molecule. So a compound composed of only carbon, hydrogen, and maybe oxygen is reacted with oxygen. Basta combustion, it means add oxygen. Of course, palagi pong uh, carbon dioxide and water ang product po niya. That means that the combustion is complete. But if the combustion is incomplete, the products will be carbon monoxide, possibly just carbon and water. Basta hindi po dapat mawala si water para maging combustion reaction siya with the first product po natin. It can be carbon dioxide if the combustion is complete. But if the combustion is incomplete, pwede po siyang maging carbon monoxide na lang po or kaya carbon lang po. Basta ang involved lang for combustion reaction are the elements carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Just a reminder that hindi po pwedeng mabago ang ating subscript sa product po natin kay carbon dioxide and kay water. Of course, most especially with water. Paano na lang kapag dinagdagan natin to? Of course, hindi na siya water. Ginawa natin tong 3 atoms of oxygen. Of course, hindi na siya naging water. So, ibig sabihin, hindi siya combustion reaction. Binago natin to kasi nakalagay dito O2. Binago natin, ginawa natin siya 4. Of course, hindi na siya din combustion reaction. Just please remember the equation for combustion reaction. Cx plus Hy plus O2 is equal to carbon dioxide plus water. Let us proceed with the second common redox reaction, which is the disproportionation reaction. We have here the example for disproportionation reaction. Ito po yung example po natin. Okay, please wag po kayong malito with disproportionation reaction with decomposition reaction. Ano po bang pinagkaiba ni disproportionation reaction with decomposition reaction? Si decomposition reaction, let us go back with our midterm lesson. When we say decomposition reaction kasi, it involves the breakdown of a compound into simpler forms. So kung ang reactant niya ay isa lang, magiging two products po siya. Since nag-decompose po siya from one reactant, naging two products po siya. Si decomposition reaction kasi may or may not involve redox reaction. How about disproportionation reaction? With disproportionation reaction, it involves simultaneous oxidation and reaction. So it is always a redox reaction. Kaya hindi po pwedeng gamitin natin si decomposition reaction with the redox reaction. Instead of decomposition reaction, we will use the disproportionation reaction po. Because again, it always involves the redox reaction. Okay, let us continue now our discussion. Okay, let us proceed now with the third redox reaction, which is the single replacement reaction. So with single replacement reaction, okay, we have, of course, we have the equation for single replacement reaction, which is AB plus CD is equal to um, AD plus CB. Ay, hindi, mali. With single replacement, that's ano pala, double replacement. With single replacement reaction, that is A plus BC, and ang magiging product po niya ay AC plus B. Please don't forget about that. Okay, let us now proceed with how to balance redox reaction. So how to balance redox reaction? We have two methods here, the oxidation number method and the ion electron method or the half reaction method. Wait lang, wait lang. So how to balance redox reaction? We have the oxidation number method and the ion electron method or the half reaction method. So isa-isayin po natin yung two methods natin on balancing the redox reaction. Let us proceed first with oxidation number method. With oxidation number method, let us have first the example, balance the chemical equation by the oxidation number method. We have here the copper, the elements copper, oxygen, nitrogen, and hydrogen. Wait lang, let me check kung baka may mali ako nang mabanggit. Okay, with the reactants, we have the cupric oxide plus ammonia. And ang naging product po niya ay naging copper plus nitrogen plus water. Paano ko po nasabing cupric oxide po ito? When we say cupric oxide, the oxidation state is positive 2. Pero kapag cuprous oxide naman, ang oxidation state niya ay positive 1. Okay, check po kasi ninyo ang periodic table of elements natin. With copper, meron po kasi siyang dalawang oxidation state. We have positive 1 and positive 2. Kapag positive 1 po ang kanyang oxidation state, the copper, gagawin po natin siyang cuprous kapag nasa compound po siya. Pero kapag ang oxidation state niya ay positive 2, si copper ay magiging cupric sa compound. So, ito po, cupric oxide po siya. Mostly kapag sinabi nating, kapag cupric po ang ginamit natin with the compound, it is found in compounds like copper bonded with 2 atoms of chlorine, copper bonded with 1 atom of oxygen. Ito po siya. Kaya po cupric oxide po ang sinabi natin kanina. And and copper is bonded with the sulfate compound. Sulfate polyatomic ion. With cuprous naman, positive 1 siya. Please don't forget, ang kanyang oxidation state. It is found in compounds like 2 atoms of copper and 1 atom of oxygen. Pwede rin po siyang makita with compound like 1 atom of copper and 1 atom of chlorine. Kaya po. So let us balance the chemical equation using the oxidation number method. So with oxidation number method, let us have first the step 1. Write the oxidation number of each atom in the skeleton equation. Okay, here, for example, we have here the copper cupric oxide, cupric oxide plus ammonia, and naging product po niya ay copper plus 2 atoms of nitrogen plus water. Sabi dyan sa step 1 natin, write the oxidation number. Since nasa loob si copper and oxygen ay naging compound po siya, so kailangan po nating i-identify ang kanyang oxidation state. With oxygen, automatically, the oxidation state is -2. With copper naman, ang oxidation state si copper ay +1 and +2. But since the compound is cupric oxide, that means that the oxidation state is +2. With nitrogen naman, kapag nasa loob po siya ng ammonia, kapag ammonia po siya, si nitrogen ay -3 ang oxidation state niya. And with hydrogen, typically hydrogen has an oxidation state of +1. Again, bakit natin silang kailangan i-identify ang oxidation state nila? Of course, nasa loob sila ng compound. Nasa compound din sila, cupric oxide, ammonia. With the product, kung papansinin natin with the product, si copper natin ay ang oxidation state niya ay naging 0. Bakit naging 0 ang oxidation state ni copper natin? Of course, it is an individual atom. Kapag individual atom, that is the first rule. Sa first rule natin, kapag individual atom siya, ang oxidation state niya ay 0. With nitrogen, 2 atoms of nitrogen, of course, since it is an individual atom, the first rule, the oxidation state is 0. Since si hydrogen and water ay nasa loob ng compound natin na water, the chemical formula is H2O, i-identify po natin or isimplement natin ang kanilang oxidation state. The oxidation state of hydrogen again is +1. With oxygen, that is -2. Okay, let us now proceed with the step 2 of the oxidation number method. With step 2, identify the atoms which undergo change in oxidation number. Again, with step 2, let us identify the atoms which undergo change in oxidation number. Okay, let us proceed with the equation. Kung papansin natin, compare lahat natin mga elements natin with copper, oxygen, nitrogen, and hydrogen. With copper, from +2, naging 0 po siya. So, ibig sabihin, it undergoes change. With oxygen, -2 po ang kanyang oxidation state. From -2, naging -2 po siya. So, ibig sabihin, it doesn't undergo changes in the oxidation state. With nitrogen in the ammonia, from -3, naging 0 po siya. So it undergoes change. And the last one, hydrogen in the ammonia, +1 to +1. So it doesn't undergo change. Ano po ba sinabi natin sa step 2? Identify the atoms which undergo change in oxidation number. Ano po ba ang mga atoms na nag-undergo ng change sa oxidation number natin? We have the copper from +2 to 0 and the nitrogen from -3 to 0. That is the step 2. Ayan po, sila po ang nag-undergo ng changes. Let us proceed with step 3. With step 3, calculate the increase and decrease in oxidation number with respect to reactant atoms. With copper, sa reactant po natin ay +2, naging 0 po siya. Since positive po siya, +2, tapos naging 0 po siya, paatras po siya. So it means it decreases in oxidation number by 2. So nag-decrease po siya ng 2 sa oxidation number niya. How about the nitrogen from -2 negative 3, I should say, from negative 3, naging 0 po ang kanyang oxidation number. So, negative 3 to 0, negative 2, naging 0 po siya. So, it increases in oxidation number. Basta kapag negative to 0, it increases. Kapag positive to 0, that is decreases in oxidation number. So na-identify na natin ang decrease and increase in oxidation number with respect to reactant atoms. Let us proceed with step 4. Equate the increase and decrease in oxidation number on the reactant side. Reactant side po natin. So ibig sabihin, dito po tayo mag-equate. Dito po tayo magpa-balance. Reactant side po kasi ang binanggit natin with step 4. With the reactant, ayan po siya. Kaya kung mapapansin ninyo, i-compare po natin siya. Since ang oxidation number po ni copper natin ay nag-decrease ng 2, since nag-decrease po siya ng 2 sa oxidation number, i-equate po natin siya sa kabilang reactant po niya, which is the ammonia. So si ammonia natin ay naging 2 molecules of ammonia. Decreases in oxidation number, itong first reactant natin. So to balance or to equate the reactant side, since 2 ang naging decrease niya sa oxidation number, dapat 2 ang maging coefficient niya dyan or 2 molecules of ammonia. So kung dahil nag-increase ang oxidation number niya dyan kay nitrogen, para maging equate din po siya at maging balance sa reactant side natin, lagyan din natin ng 3 dito sa coefficient niya. So through 3 molecules of cupric oxide. Nag-gets po ba ng lahat? Again, if you have any questions, ask me on our meeting next week about general inorganic chemistry, of course, in the redox reaction. So equate and increase and decrease, nalagyan na po siya ng molecules natin. 3 cupric oxide plus 2 ammonia, and yung naging product niya ay copper plus nitrogen plus water. Let's proceed with step 5. Balance the number of copper and nitrogen atoms on both sides of the equation. So we have here, kung mapapansin ninyo, nagbago po ang ating copper. So bakit nagbago ang copper natin? Of course, the step 5 is balance the number of copper and nitrogen atoms on both sides of the equation. Both sides, the reactant side and the product side. Balikan natin sa step 4 natin kanina. With copper kasi there are 3 atoms of copper. But kung titignan ninyo sa product side natin, there is only 1 atom of copper. Please do remember the step 5, balance the number of copper. Since meron tayong 3 atoms of copper dito, dapat i-balance din natin siya sa product side natin. Kaya nilagyan natin ng 3 dito. So it is now balanced. There are 3 atoms of copper. There are 3 atoms of copper now. How about nitrogen? With nitrogen kasi 2 times 1. 1 atom of nitrogen lang kasi dyan. 1 atom of nitrogen. But since it is 2 molecules of ammonia, 2 times 1, there are 2 atoms of nitrogen. How about nitrogen in the product side? There are 2 atoms of nitrogen. Kaya pantay na po 2 nitrogen atoms, 2 nitrogen atoms. Let us proceed with step 6. Step 6 is now balance hydrogen and oxygen atoms by heat and trial method. So, let us go back again with the equation. Mapapansin ninyo, may nagbago po sa ating equation. Ang nagbago po dyan ay si water. Kanina ay 1 molecule of water, naging 3 molecules of water. Bakit po? Kung papansinin natin with the reactant side, 2 times 3 atoms of hydrogen naging 6 atoms of hydrogen po dyan. To balance also the product side to the reactant side, naglagay po ng 3 molecules dyan. Of course, 3 times 2, that is 6 hydrogen atoms. 2 times 3, that is 6 hydrogen atoms. Hindi po pwedeng 1, kasi 1 times 2, that is 2. Hindi na po siya balance. Hindi rin po pwedeng 2. 2 times 4, that is 4. So 4 hydrogen atoms, pero dito 6. So mali pa rin. Hindi rin po pwedeng lumagpas ng 4. Of course, 4 times 2, that is 8. 8 hydrogen atoms. So hindi na rin po ulit balance. So dapat tatlo lang po dyan. Kaya po binanggit dyan sa step 6 natin by heat and trial method. Okay po ba tayo doon? So kung mapapansin ninyo with oxygen, if we will see the reactant side, the 3 cupric oxide, 3 times 1 atom of oxygen. 3 times 1, that is 3 atoms of oxygen. How about this one? Kaya may nagbago po dyan. 3 3 times 1, so 3 atoms of oxygen in the product side and 3 atoms of oxygen in the reactant side. Let us now see if the redox reaction is balanced. So 3 copper here, 3 copper here. So okay na po ang copper natin. Oxygen, 3 times 1, that is 3. 3 times 1 here in the product side, that is 3. So balance na din po ang oxygen natin. How about nitrogen? We have 2 molecules of nitrogen, 2 molecules of ammonia. So there are 2 times 1, 2 atoms of nitrogen and 2 atoms of nitrogen in the product side. And last is hydrogen. 2 times 3 atoms of hydrogen, that will become 6 hydrogen atoms. 3 times 2, that is 6 in the product side. So now, balance na po ang redox reaction natin. Balance sa lahat ng elements, balance sa lahat ng elements. Ibig sabihin na nagawa po natin na maayos sa ating redox reaction with the help of the oxidation number method. Again, we have now the second method or process in balancing the redox reaction, which is the ion electron method or half reaction method. Again, just a clue. If the question in your examination is asking for the ion electron method, it is also the half reaction method. Okay, let us proceed with the half reaction method. With half reaction method or the ion electron method, let us have the example, balance the chemical equation by ion electron method. I-check lang kung one or more electrons. Proportionation. So it is now balanced. There are 3 atoms of copper, half reaction, or N. Okay, let us have the example here. We have the 2 atoms of chromium. We have 7 atoms of oxygen. And kung makikita po ninyo dito kay reactant side natin, na-identify po ang oxidation state po ng buong compound natin. With iron, na-identify na din po ang oxidation state niya, which is -2. With iron, that is +1. With chromium in the product side, +3 ang oxidation state. Iron, +3. Hydrogen and oxygen in the water compound. So we have the first step, write the oxidation number of each atom in the skeleton equation. So we have again the equation, ayan po. So kung mapapansin niyo rito, okay, kasi kung mapapansin niyo with the example here, hindi pa po na-identify ang oxidation state ng atin pong elements of hydrogen and oxygen, but hydrogen has an oxidation state of +1 and oxidation state of -2. So, pare-pareho lang po yan. Pero kung mapapansin ninyo, may nagbago rito with positive 6 and negative 2. Saan po nakuha natin si positive 6? Saan rin po nakuha natin si negative 2? Of course, si oxygen, ang oxidation state niya ay negative 2. How about chromium? With chromium kasi, kung papansinin ninyo ang periodic table of elements ninyo, with chromium, ang kanyang oxidation state is positive 2, positive 3, and positive 6. So we still have to identify again the oxidation state of chromium in the compound before we proceed with the step 2. So paano to nakuha si positive 6 natin? Ganito lang po yan. There are two atoms of chromium, so 2x. Bakit naging x again? Because hindi pa natin alam ang oxidation state niya. So 2x plus 7 atoms of oxygen times negative 2. The oxidation state is equal to negative 2. Bakit naging negative 2? Ito po niya sa buong compound. So again, 2x plus 7 times negative 2 is equal to negative 2. So 2x now, since negative 2 times 7, that is negative 14, 2x plus negative 14 is equal to negative 2. Again, kailangan po nating paghiwalayin si numerical coefficient with the literal coefficient. So instead of 2x plus negative 14 is equal to negative 2, magiging 2x is equal to 14 minus 2 na po ang ating equation. So 14 minus 2, that is 12. So our equation now is 2x is equal to 12. Since the literal coefficient natin, mayroon pa pong 2 kay x natin, 2x po is equal to 12, we have to divide both sides by 2 para makancel po siya. So 2x divided by 2 is equal to 12 divided by 2. 2x divided by 2, cancel po natin si 2 doon. So matitira ay x. 12 divided by 2, that is 6. So x is equal to 6. So the chromium oxidation state is positive 6. So kung kanina, tatlo po ang oxidation state ni chromium natin sa periodic table of elements, na-identify na po natin ang oxidation state niya, which is positive 6. Okay po ba? Since na-identify na natin ang oxidation state ni chromium natin, let us now proceed with step 2. With step 2, find out the species involved in the oxidation and reduction of reaction. Kung i-compare natin si chromium nung nasa compound pa siya with chromium sa product side po natin, positive 6 naging positive 3 po ang kanyang oxidation number. Since positive 6 to positive 3 po siya, nag-reduce reduction process, so the oxidation number decreases. Mapapansinin natin with oxygen dito, negative 2 to negative 2, so walang pagbabago. With iron, from positive 2 sa reactant side, naging positive 3 sa product side. So, since positive 2, naging positive 3 po siya, umangat ng isa, so that is increase in oxidation number. Since nag-increase ang oxidation number, it is oxidation. Kapag nag-decrease ng oxidation number, that is reduction. With hydrogen here, since wala siyang number dyan, ibig sabihin automatically that is 1. So positive 1 ang kanyang oxidation number. Positive 1 pa rin po sa product side. So ibig sabihin, the two elements that undergoes change are chromium and iron. Let us proceed with step 3. Kunti na lang po, patapos na rin naman ito. Step 3. Step 3 is balancing the oxidation half reaction. As oxidation number increases 1 from positive 2 to positive 3, add 1 electron on the product side to balance change in oxidation number. Again, kung papansinin kasi natin ang ating compare natin si reactant side kay product side, +2 to +3. Since nag-lose ng electron si reactant side natin, nag-lose ng electron, to balance the reaction, maglagay po tayo ng 1 electron on the product side to balance the change in oxidation number. Let us proceed with step 4. With step 4 naman, balancing the reduction half reaction. Same process kanina, mag-balance-balance lang po tayo with the trial and error method and with the use of the oxidation states and the number of atoms, of course. Nag-remain pa rin po siya, wala pong inilagay dyan kasi if we will compare, balikan natin yung ating ito. With here, kung papansinin natin sa chromium natin, there are 2 atoms of chromium, pero kung compare natin siya dito, 1 atom of chromium lang siya. So to balance, maglagay po tayo ng dalawa dyan. So there are 2 atoms of chromium na dyan, 2 atoms of chromium dyan. So balance na po si chromium natin. Tapos nagbago rin po si hydrogen natin. Bakit nagbago si hydrogen? Let us proceed first with iron. Ay, kinulit pala si iron. Mamaya tayo doon. So with the hydrogen, bakit may nagbago kay hydrogen natin? Isa lang dito ang molecule of hydrogen. Tapos molecule of hydrogen, 2 atoms of hydrogen. So 2 po dito kay hydrogen, 1 lang po dito kay hydrogen. So hindi po siya balance. Let us have the trial and error method. Pag ginamit po ninyo ang trial and error method, since we have 7 atoms of oxygen po dyan, para maging balance din po siya with the product side, maglagay po tayo ng 7 dito. Again, bakit po? We have 7 atoms of oxygen. Kailangan po natin siyang i-balance with the product side. So maglagay tayo ng 7 dito. Para 7 times 1 oxygen atom, that is 7 now. 7 atoms of oxygen, 7 atoms of oxygen. So balance na po siya. So 7 times 2, that is 14 atoms of hydrogen. Para maging balance si product side, kay reactant side po natin, 7 times 2, that is 14. Maglagay po tayo ng 14 dito kay hydrogen. So naging balance na po ang ating equation. Kaya ayan po ang nangyari. 2 atoms of chromium and 7 atoms of oxygen in the compound and 14 molecules of hydrogen with ito bakit nangyari dito is bakit naging 6E negative po siya? Bakit nawala yung iron po dyan, iron side natin? Ganito po yan. Bakit naging 6E negative po siya with step 4? 6E or 6 electron negative accounts for the transfer of electrons required to reduce 2 chromium atoms from +6 to +3. +6 po kanina dito si chromium natin, di ba? Naging +3 po siya. So, nag-account po kay dito part 6E accounts for the transfer of electrons required to reduce 2 chromium atoms from +6 to +3. So it is for ensuring it that it involves or it's always follow the law of conservation of energy. Kaya 6E negative po siya. Papansinin ninyo with the iron side, nadagdagan po ng 6 molecules diyan, 6 molecules of iron. So, step 5, adding the 2 half reactions. Ito po kasi, kaya 6 distribute natin, 6 with the product side. That is step 5. Okay, I hope you really understood our lesson, which is all about the redox reaction. I hope you really understood the difference between oxidation and reduction in the redox reaction. Also, the rules for assigning oxidation states, kung paano po nakuha sila yan. Also, the steps on assigning the oxidation states. Ayan po, we have 5 steps with oxidation reduction reactions. Ito po si oil rig po natin, mnemonics natin. Oxidation is loss of electrons, reduction is gain of electrons. Sana nag-gets ninyo yun. Common redox reactions, we have the combustion reaction, disproportionation reaction, hindi po decomposition reaction, and the last is single replacement reaction. I hope you really understood also how to balance redox reaction with the two methods, the oxidation number method and the ion electron method or the half reaction method. Yung steps po niya kung paano nakuha sila yan, paano na-balance redox reaction with the use of the 6 steps. In the ion electron method or the half reaction method, I hope you really understood it also by applying the 5 steps in the ion electron method. Again, if you have any questions regarding our discussion, which is all about the redox reaction, since we have also our face-to-face classes next week, of course, I will meet your class next week. So please, again, watch this whole video, or if you have any questions regarding the lesson, pakisulat na lang po para you can ask it face-to-face. Okay po ba? Okay, I hope you really understood our discussion, which is all about the redox reaction. You can ask me again face-to-face. Ulit-ulit tayo, Miles. Okay. Thank you and goodbye. Okay. I skip. Okay, goodbye. Bye, everyone.